Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the notion of traveling naked over international borders. Now, this is a euphemism I've developed, what I call traveling naked, and it's basically sort of in an expat context. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about somebody who they've primarily, well, let's go back, and there's this whole notion, especially in the Western expat sphere, if you want to call it that, the sort of expat space, the digital nomad space. You'll hear this term a lot, your plan B. You got to have a plan B, sort of a place where you're going to fall back on if, you know, the S hits the fan in some country and you just don't want to be there anymore. You want to be able to get on a plane and get over to your plan B country. That's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. And for many people, if you have the resources to be able to do that, go ahead and seriously consider doing that. What I'm talking about here with the notion of traveling naked, though, I don't mean literally, so please don't show up at the airport with no clothes on and try to get on a plane. That's not the purpose of the video. No, what I'm talking about here is if you're well set up, for example, here in Thailand, if you've bought a condo, you've got a safe here, you maybe threw some gold in the safe, you got a Thai bank account denominated in baht, you know, with some money. It doesn't have to be a fortune, but it's enough that, you know, you can pay a month or two's worth of expenses. You've got a bunch of clothes here, you've got a computer and everything. The nice thing, I found this myself traveling to and from the US over the years, is once you're well set up, you don't really need to pack anything. In fact, when I go back to the United States, I bring no clothes. I bring one pair of clothes, you know, sort of one change, because door to door it ends up taking, you know, a day and a half to get back to the States where I'm from, and oftentimes a couple of days in the interim because you know, there's usually kind of some downtime in a connecting place, whatever. But you know, it's going to take a day or two for me to get back to the U.S. and I don't want to lug around a bunch of luggage. And quite honestly, when I go back to the US, I buy a bunch of clothes anyway, especially like rudimentary stuff, t-shirts and underwear kind of things, socks, you know. Buy a ton of that stuff when I'm back where, quite honestly, there are the clothing sizes that fit a guy like me. Quite honestly, trying to find that in Thailand is not the easiest thing. Point of this video, though, is being able to travel naked, if you will, which, you know, don't need to bring a computer, don't need to have a laptop. You know, I'm going door to door, so when I get to the other door, there's going to be my computer sitting there. You know, even a phone, although I don't really recommend necessarily not traveling with a phone, it's possible not to do so and just have another phone on the other end. You know, I know plenty of clients got a Thai number, got a US number, got an international number, wherever, you know, or a European number, wherever they're from, British, and, you know, they just leave their Thai phone here and use it when they're here. So again, this notion of sort of going through checkpoints sort of naked, it can make the process much more efficient because you don't have a bunch of stuff to be scrutinized by the interviewing immigration officer associated with traveling through a given country. So it's something to take note of, and I think for expats, the whole notion of traveling naked is something to think about because it adds convenience to sort of your overall life experience.